Hello comrades, yes, I'm back again. And something which has been taxing my tiny little mind for a while has been this thing about non-crime hate incidents. Because even the title sort of like totally confuses me, and I'm just thinking, why? Anyway, I've put some links up for people who can describe it better than me, because A, B, that's a job and they've been doing this sort of stuff longer than me. There's also one link in there which hopefully will give you the explanation but make you laugh as well. Now, in my time of watching these videos about the non-crime hate incidents, one of the questions some people have asked is, well, why? So I thought about that and I've developed my own little theory on it, and it's all my theory. I take full responsibility for it, but it is quite dark, to be honest, but I think it sort of fits. It sort of occurred to me when I reconsidered the video I'd made about our First Minister, and it was this one: Welsh Government vows to change beliefs and behaviour of the white majority. Okay, right. And for that she sort of says that we're all racist, and because that's what the plan says, as you can see. And I did say that to do anything like that is really, really difficult. You'd have to be put into some sort of re-education camp, and even then you're not going to come out the same side as what they wanted to think, because we can all just act it and go with that sort of thing. So at that point I thought to myself, well, what do you do? How do you manage that? And we all know about cancel culture, where someone like me or somebody else would say something and you have a job, 8,000 people email saying we don't like that person for what they've said, you don't have a job anymore, you can't work anymore. Well, this is like a more government organised cancel culture situation. So it's professionally done, and it's using state actors, i.e. the police, to enforce it. There you go. So, and it also became more scary, or more concerning, because the Home Secretary, as you can see, is planning to expand the recording of it. So the question is, why would you do that? So, first off, as I say, I've put the links in there, but give you a bit of context on this non-crime recording hate incident thing. And remember, it's always hate incident. There isn't excuse me, I've still got a bit of a cough going on. It's always a hate incident. It's not any other type of incident, which I find really odd when I think about it. And there's one here. It was recorded because someone, let's have a look here, to the North Wales woman complained that her neighbours had hung out a very large soiled pair of underpants on the washing line for the past 2 months. Okay, not pleasant to look at, but does it warrant that? I don't know. She goes on to say they were aimed at her because she has an Italian surname, and then the link is that Italy defeated England on penalties. Right, okay, so that's now ended up being a non-crime. Now the other ones here are things something like where are we? A bloke refused to shake hands with somebody else, a rough haircut took place, and then another one being offended at like being called, oh good lord, you're like a Rottweiler. And it goes on and on and on. And according to this, as you can see, it says some 13,000 were recorded over a year up until this June. Now some people estimate it could be more, but the information I've got is from Free Speech Union, which I'm a member of, and I suggest you join it as well. And then, so like a while on, at this time, the police standards body has warned that the police, the way they record them, threaten to undermine public confidence. Well, you're a bit late there. I mean, that ship has sailed already. So that's the other thing I don't get anyway. Let me get back to topic here. So, the thing about it is, I've been looking at it, I don't actually need to be told that someone's recorded a non-crime hate incident against me, even though it will still go on my criminal record. But what I don't understand is, if it's on my criminal record, how can it really sit there if it's a non-crime incident? So that's the bit I don't really understand, because it's like, don't sit with each other. Either way, that's the process, and I'm surprised nobody else has said, well, how can that be correct? So I'll give you an incident. So let's just say I wanted to go for a job, okay? And as you can see here, is that if I went for a job like in a list of high risk positions like teachers or carers, now high risk is basically there because it's possibly dealing with people who are vulnerable. Now, unbeknown to me, I might just, like today, apply for a job. Now, they might say, well, you know, I'm on the application form, have you got any criminal record? I say, no, I haven't. I go for the interview, they do a BGS check, as you can see it's enhanced DBS check, because I'll be working with vulnerable people. The next thing, oh, you can't have the interview, sorry, you can't have the job. Why is that? Well, something's come up on your DBS check, and I'll be like, well, what's that then? Now they might tell me, they might not tell me, chances are they won't tell me. So without me knowing it, I can't even complete the form correctly because I didn't know it's happened to me. So that's one way I will be kept out of working with people, but I'm more suspicious than that because what I'm going to say is I've been now tagged by some informers within society, a bit like when we had during the lockdowns where people were informing on other people, oh, they met somebody, oh, they went outside, they did this, they did that, because they're going to be deemed as going against a state ideology or an agenda or some sort of political agenda. Now, the other thing to then really consider is, let's just say, excuse me, let's just say I have a job already and I work with people, don't matter what job, I work with people already, I fancy a change, and I see this job and it's like 10 grand more. I think I'll apply for that, but unbeknown to me in my current job, someone's actually reported me. And I've ended up with a non-crime hate incident against me already, but I didn't know. So at this point I apply for my new job thinking, oh, 10 grand, that'd be nice. I've got good references from the other place. So I then go for that job, and then the same happens. Oh, sorry, you've got an issue with your DBS check. I say, well, what is it? Oh, well, you've got something on your background check. Well, what? Well, again, they might tell you, might not. I might be able to get it myself, I might not. So at that point, I've lost out on 10 grand. This might have been working in the public sector. So I've always lost out on a cushy pension as well. Now then, would that public sector organisation tell the current organisation I work for what's happened? If so, they might turn around and say to me, well, you didn't declare it. At that point, I've got to say, well, I didn't know I had it. What happens then? Do I then lose another job? Now, if you think about the scenarios I'm describing, this could be anybody. You've just come out of university, you need to get some money off. One of the most popular jobs, or they're desperate for, is carers. You might not be able to get that to start paying it off to then get experience to go elsewhere. Because basically, you've got something against you which you didn't even know about. Now, the reason why I'm saying this and giving the examples is it's an easy way to tag people with wrong think, or with people who don't agree with, say, government agendas and other dogma what they're coming out with. It's an easy way to do it. It's far easier to create a massive record and a database on a whole set of individuals who somebody else, who we don't know, has deemed should not be involved in parts of society and should have not contact with others. Now then, a lot of these jobs, what you might be looking for, will work within the public sector. The last thing the public sector wants is people like me and other people entering into that to undermine it. So this is again another way of being able to, let me quote unquote, change beliefs and behaviours. You're not changing them, what you're doing is you're excluding me from being part of society and having an input into that society by creating a database. Right, so you can see that's why I think they're doing it. Now, the odd thing about it all, that if I wanted to be a counsellor, right, and again the counsellor, which is a way forward these days, let's be a counsellor, let's have a go at different ideology, let's have some bit of honesty said. For that role, as it says here, I'd need a basic DBS check. Now then, that council might decide everybody needs to have an enhanced check, because they might think, oh, we don't want that type of person in, see if that comes up, because I wouldn't know. Now if I wanted to be an MP, I don't need a DBS check. Now that's amazing, isn't it? So we're basically going for the one rule for them, one rule for the other then. Well, I should imagine it'll be 3 or 4 rules, because if you right think you'll be on the right side of it, if you wrong think you're on the wrong side of it, but if you want to be a member of the parliament, you'll be fine. But if you want to be a councillor, then you're back against it again. So as I say, excuse me, my sort of theory is that they've actually introduced it and they're going to accelerate it because it allows them to tag people on a massive database. Now then, will they release the database? No, they won't, because they'll just say, well, it's personal data. Could I request it? I'd have to pay for it myself. Why should I pay for something? I've already paid enough anyway. So then I got thinking to myself, so this sort of feels weird. And then I thought about racial profiling, so I tried to find something on the internet, like some sort of police college document about it. And the only thing I could find is by this firm of solicitors. I'm not sponsored by them, but they're the only ones who sort of popped up, so well, there you go. And it says that racial profiling is suspected that someone has committed a criminal offence based on ethnicity, nationality or religion, rather than available evidence. Now then, if you look at the other videos I've suggested you watch, non-crime incident hate reporting, God, do you know something? I really can't get my head around it because it just sounds so wrong. Let me try it again here. Yeah, non-crime hate incidents. They don't need evidence to back anything up. It's just in the balance of whatever somebody else thought. So I'm now beginning to think, does this mean that everybody who ends up with this has been racially profiled? And it's even worse because there is no evidence. It's based on the third party who's unknown, and then it's implemented and put onto a record, which potentially will cost me money, everybody else money, and stop us participating in society. So in other words, rather than being included in society, we're going to get excluded. However, it does sort of answer the question of change beliefs and behaviours of the white majority. Well, all you're going to do, as I'm going to say, is that people have wrong think. You exclude them rather than include them. Right, thank you for watching. Sorry for the coughing, but hey, what can I say? But it has been on my mind a bit, so I thought I'd have to do something today. Right, have a good week. Today's Sunday, so subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you for watching.